Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another fantastic, fabulous, and extremely glowy Ask Engineer. I'm Lady Ada, super glowy engineer. This is Phil, somewhat less glowy.
I glow on the inside.
He glows on the inside, you just can't tell. It's like black body radiation. And he's on camera control. We've got an exciting show with lots of LEDs. So tell them about tonight's show.
Okay, on tonight's show, the code is rings because we have some cool LED products and projects. We'll talk about what was on the show and tell, awesome, cool projects, fun for the whole family. New staff coming to Adafruit. News in the world of Arduino. We got Packet, the mailbag. Got some open source hardware news. We got lots of new stuff in the Adafruit learning system. We've got Time Travel Tuesday, Wearable Wednesday, a big announcement for a new show coming up from Adafruit. 3D Thursday, Pi Day. We've got new products. That's right. When it's your questions, or a trivia question, we're going to show you some top secret stuff. All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
We have a photo of a cat.
Yeah, we have a photo of a cat. All right. That's the show.
I mean, he doesn't move that much. He sleeps a lot. So honestly, the photo is about as good as a live cat anyway.
Yeah. So once again, we're broadcasting live on Ustream and YouTube Live. This is So once again, we're broadcasting live on Ustream and YouTube Live. This is a few weeks we've been doing this.
You can see us on YouTube or Ustream, but if you want to be on the chat, it's Ustream only.
Yeah, right now. So, big news. We got these LED rings. So the code tonight is rings. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store.
Including the rings.
Including the rings.
And also non-ringular stuff.
Yeah.
Does not have to be circular to be discounted.
Anything in stock. One of the things that's in stock, we have a few MakerBot Adafruit editions left.
That's right.
It is a good deal. You get a bunch of kits, 10% off. Free shipping in the U.S. continental.
And and a pie and stuff and all these goodies. And
this is the
all right.
This is a big show. We have a lot of cool stuff tonight to show off.
We do. It was a crazy week, but we're here.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, we are. Okay. First up, as seen on the show and tell.
Okay, there was a show and tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a majestic show and tell.
Yeah, you go through this stuff.
I need my multimeter to hold it because there was such an exciting show and tell. I can't be without my multimeter. Scott G showed up. He has a lovely lower third. He also has an iBeacon, which is like a Bluetooth low energy thing that's an iOS 7. It's kind of cool, so I'm kind of excited to see that. I don't have iOS 7 installed on my iOS device, but apparently it's a kind of an interesting beacon system that's part of Bluetooth low energy. So go check out his site and learn about this iBeacon. Erin, robot girl with robot tentacles, showed up with her robotic tentacles that she made by molding Subaru, which is kind of neat. And it like has this like S tentacle thing going on. It's kind of cool. It's got blinky LEDs. It's a little bit creepy, a little bit cool. I don't know. It looks alive. I guess that's what robots want to look like. Yeah. So check that out. It's good to see her. I haven't seen her in a bit. Kevin showed up first time with a laser pop system using a spinning mirror and then like 8 lasers that pulse on and off, and then the spinning part is what creates the pop display on the wall. This is kind of, he's got it like doing a triangle wave, so that's step 1, right? You do that and you're close to finishing up. Joel showed up. Joel is doing some pretty hardcore stuff there. He's got an electric imp that is directly driving an LCD display and also reading data from some our SPI thermocouple breakouts. He's doing some brewery and barbecue stuff, and people who do brewery and barbecue stuff love stainless steel thermocouples. They are just like crazy about thermocouples, and he's thermocoupling it up and he's like pushing the data to Xively, and then he's pulling it to his iOS app that he wrote custom, and he's gonna tell us about it. Maybe we'll post this tutorial because this is a really beautiful little project in a nice case and everything. So yeah, that was kind of cool. So electric imp hacking. I haven't seen an electric imp project in a while. Mike showed up with LED goggles because it's that's the theme of today is LED goggles. He made some basic LED goggles using just one LED in each goggle, and it's like sound reactive, and he uses a microphone, and it like pulses and it blinks.
That's really cool.
That's cool. Lance showed up again. He's always doing some cool stuff, and this time he turned a Pi into a Chromecast clone.
Yeah,
basically.
an open source version of Chromecast. And what Chromecast is it allows you to kind of send whatever in your web browser to TV.
It's like a Google TV set top pluggy box. It's, you know what's actually funny is the Chromecast reminds you of those little all-winner 801, all-winner 810, 813 little pluggy computers. And it's like I'm like
it's a little
I don't know if
computer,
anyone's done a teardown of this, but I'm like I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
if
we
it
have
was
a,
the same
actually
stuff.
a iFixit post on our site.
Oh yeah.
Teardown.
Damn cat.
No.
No, put that up later. It's just-
You can always blame Moss.
I can't. He's not here. No, that was. I think that just fell over.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's just cables and stuff. So exciting, this podcast. So yeah, check it out. He's got a GitHub repo, a script you can turn Raspberry Pi, because it's got HDMI out, right? It's $35, same as a Chromecast, but you can use it right now. So that would be a cool project. I think we even blogged it on Pi Day.
Yep.
And finally, Phil B, Paint Your Dragon, the dragon, showed up with his LED goggles that he made using LED rings. We sent him some of those LED rings that you've seen, and we said, hey, can you like make some goggles? Because actually we made them specifically to fit inside of goggles. He measured his goggles, and we made them fit, and so he made some goggles that do something. So hopefully he'll have a tutorial soon about that.
I stole his Vine from the site real quick, so you can see what it looks like, and the show and tell is already probably on YouTube right now, but that's what it looks like. That's when he was doing the prototyping.
That's cool.
So anyways, Lady Ada, how does someone get on the show and tell?
Yes. Oh, we've got all participants of the show and tell receive a show and tell sticker. It's lovely. It's vinyl. You can put on your car or your project or your cat, whatever you want, or yourself. Yeah. It's fine. To become a show and tell participant, so easy. Get a Google Plus account. Go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/plus Adafruit and comment on the thread where we say, hey, comment here to get added to the show and tell. Comment, get added, and then every week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, you can show up and show off your project. Please more LED goggles. So if you have an LED goggle project, just show up next week. That'd be cool. Okay. I would like that.
Yeah. I think we're going to see so many projects with these LED rings.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I also want to do a totally non-trademark infringing superhero glove glowing
superhero power plant device,
circular thing that is not trademarked or owned by any large corporation that sues people.
Element male gender power plant.
Power ring. That's another thing I thought this would be good for. Yeah. So we'll hopefully have a project like that, maybe with a Gemma.
Yeah.
What about you could say like Ferrite Lady? Could we have that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ferrite Lady.
Yeah, I'll talk about the LED.
She basically just blocks high frequencies.
That's all she can do.
She's just like a sphere.
Yeah.
Iron. Ferrite core.
You made the wave bubble. You're kind of like that. You
That's all she does. She actually blocks high frequency RF waves. Yeah. And she does it with her power plant on her hands and chest.
Okay. All right. Well, I know what someone's going to be for Halloween.
I know. I can't wait.
Okay.
Ferrite Lady.
So let's. So I'll talk about the LED rings later because that's one of our new products.
I want to actually just mention something really fast. So a couple years ago, there was this song on the radio all the time, and I like wasn't listening. It was like on these crappy radios, so I couldn't really hear the lyrics. So I really thought the song was "I'm a Hall Effect Girl."
It's not. That's
not the song. And I was like, that's so cool. I love the Hall effect. It's great for measuring like magnetic flux.
Yeah, you didn't know Gwen Stefani is an EE? Not a lot of people know that about her.
It sounds like she's saying that, but it wasn't. It was only the first time I heard it. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
My dreams were dashed.
Yeah, well, their breakout hit was No Diode. That's the name of the band. Yeah. Sorry. No doubt. That's the band.
And
See,
that was pretty good.
Set up for a good joke.
That was pretty good. All right. We'll be here all week.
Yeah. Okay.
Try the Zeners.
Big news in the world of Adafruit. Marjorie Connor has joined Adafruit as an editor. She has been covering the electronics industry for 15 years. In fact, one of the cool things about Marjorie is she wrote one of the first articles about you back in like 2008 about like running a kit business.
I saw her at like this, was it the first or second Maker Faire where I did my top talk ever, which has inspired so many with 17
steps to run a kit company. Yeah.
To being a successful kit company.
So Marjorie...
And it actually is still a very good list.
Yeah, Chris Anderson used that as his blueprint for DIY drones, which is now called 3D
And
Robotics.
so did a lot of other kit companies.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out if you want to know the 17 steps to successful kit company.
Marjorie's an actual engineer. She's also a fantastic writer. And she's kind of covering not only her interest, which is LEDs, but also kind of the wide range of art, design, engineering, technology, all the stuff in the Adafruit.
Yeah, she's cool.
Adafruit blog.
She's been around.
Yeah, the Adafruit site right now, with our properties combined, is 11 million page views a month. And there's
11 million.
11 million page views a month.
Okay.
With depending on
what is that like? Is there any other sites that are around 11 million?
Well,
so
when Hackaday was selling, I think they were they posted that they're up to 5 million page views a month. So that's the site that I started a long time ago.
And that was what, a few months ago? Or?
Yeah, that was like when.
So okay, so it's like twice as big as Hackaday and.
Yeah.
About the same size as May.
Yeah, I think maybe even it was 6 million.
So that's including everything.
Yeah. And so one of the reasons that we keep kind of putting more stuff on the blog is because people want more stuff on the blog.
Yeah, and
So-
I just sent you like 30 links today. There's unending cool projects. And there's actually a lot of stuff we don't post. Like, I'm actually kind of picky now. I actually can be a little bit picky because there's so much good stuff out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I love posting people's beginner projects, but sometimes if it's like, I like to only send you stuff that's like, wow, this is really new and interesting, or like a really unique take on it.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean, like a technology or project.
What we're finding, like originally, when I was running the Make site, I was writing it basically for you, and it turns out that was kind of a good idea. A lot of people liked it, and as we've turned the Adafruit blog into this place, I write it for all the people that we work with. So like wearable stuff, and then now Becky has the wearable section. Matt has a 3D section. We have Pi Day. We have all these different pieces.
It's totally like the Goonies.
Yeah, we have all these different pieces of content, and
Everyone's got their specialty.
yeah, and then what's happened is all these different communities around the web now bookmark different sections, have their favorite things. We have the Maker Business section. It's fantastic. If you just tune into
Manufacturing Monday.
Yeah, so we have a lot of neat stuff going
Pi
on.
Day.
So Marjorie's helping out with that.
Okay.
And,
there's a lot of content. It is, and it's like something you've been editing it, so it's good to have someone help you.
yeah, I'm going to continue to grow it. And as the Adafruit site grows, we'll probably kind of have the blog take on a life of its own and have some
I love the blog.
longer form articles.
Yeah.
And lots of stuff.
Well, I like how what we've done is actually when I first started like the LadyAda.net blog, like I have like blog posts from 2006. I would actually put like I'd have like a lot of I try to update it like once a week or something, which was like at the time pretty good, and post up projects and stuff. And now we actually have the learning system, so we can actually have longer form content that's off the blog in a more like friendly learning environment.
Yeah.
And then also it ties with the blog. So it's going to be interesting to see how, as we're working on our next site design, how we might be merging the two together. That'd be cool.
Next up, this is kind of interesting. This was a hardware by the numbers report. This was in our Maker Business section.
This is cool because somebody finally did some number report that wasn't your report from 5 years ago.
This was one of the issues. So I used to do an annual report on how much like open source hardware companies they were, how much money they were making, and then as I started to help run Adafruit with you, I ran out of time. I can't write a syndicated research report for the world anymore. So a lot of people are really interested in this. So this came out.
And you shouldn't have to. There's plenty of VCs that should do it for you.
Yeah, this is from OATV, I believe, someone who works there, and that's a venture fund. We actually think they're really good.
They invested in
Chumby, Little Bits, MakerBot, I think. They have definitely Instructables.
Instructables.
So. Anyways, so they've been keeping track of stuff. So 2011, 12, 13, and these are things like what's on Kickstarter.
This is a little bit of a little Kickstarter bias, but that's okay.
And if you look from 2012 to 2013, the funding has more than doubled and Kickstarted. Number of backers.
I think it's interesting is the hardware as percentage of total. That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's going up. So that's really interesting. So it is a good time to be doing hardware. What we're seeing is kind of the maker movement splintering off, and this is not, I don't mean that in a bad way at all, but splintering off as very single product focused companies are then looking for investment or Kickstarters or Indiegogos or whatever. So maybe 5-6 years ago, it would have been a project, but not a company. But now, because there's so many opportunities to start a company, we're seeing more individuals saying, well, I can shoot a video, I can get some goodies for backers, off to the races.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. We'll see how it goes. Next up, news in the world of Arduino. This is interesting. So Tindy, which a lot of people call the Etsy of hardware.
It's electronics.
Of electronics, did something really neat. They have something called Tindy kickbacks. So if you take Arduino right now, and all the design files are up there, if you take Arduino and do a derivative and you want to give money back because you're doing a derivative, you can. And this is one of the things that's kind of happened in open source hardware. In open source hardware, people tend to want to do a royalty structure, or they'll want to donate to like a foundation, like they'll want to participate, they'll want to do something. And I wrote an article a long time ago called The Unspoken Rules. It's not required at all. In fact, a lot of times people do open source hardware and they just do their own, and that's it. But for instance, we pay Mitch Altman a royalty for the TV Be Gone.
Yeah.
We worked with him. There's other folks out there that pay us a royalty because they're using part of our design or something.
Yeah.
So it all depends, and as your companies get bigger, it's a little harder. But Tindy kind of did an interesting thing where they're going to handle that transaction for Arduino. So if you wanted to take the Arduino Mega and turn it into something different, there is an opportunity there. We'll see how it works. This has not been done before. So,
yeah.
News in the world of Arduino. Next up, Packet. Packet the mailbag.
So cute. All right.
Yeah.
What's you got to say?
Mailbag, really short and sweet this week. Adafruit, your customer service and support is outstanding. It gives this old dog confidence to learn new tricks. Thank you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that was from Ray. Thanks,
Ray.
Ray. All right, I'm going to move right along. This week we did a couple interesting things. Some people got EFF stickers in their orders. We just did a recent donation to the EFF.
And they give us stickers.
We got a bunch of stickers, and so we popped them in some orders. We also did a donation to Tor. We do not have any stickers, but we did that as well. One of the reasons that we did that is because we have the Onion Pi, which anonymizes your internet communications.
Yep, it's a little Pi project.
And we wanted to support the EFF, who's out there defending our digital rights, always out there on the front lines trying to help with privacy, being anonymous on the web, your data being protected, not being sniffed through and sold and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And also, the EFF is fantastic about celebrating people in electronics. Last year, Bunny won an EFF Pioneer Award. You won in the past. Very cool stuff, so we support them. And then, of course, Tor, because the Tor Foundation is the ones who constantly update this Tor network.
Yeah, they maintain the Tor network and run exit nodes and all that good stuff.
So those are just some of the things that we've recently sponsored. We're also sponsoring the Open Source Hardware Summit, and we will talk about that.
Yay!
Right now. So
it's coming up.
Yeah, Open Source Hardware Summit coming up pretty soon. Still time to sponsor, still time to get tickets. Do get out there. If you haven't heard,
it's in Boston.
Becky Stern
Cambridge.
will be speaking.
Yes.
About wearable electronics.
What is that, like your quilt of Becky?
It was what they used on the site.
Oh,
I think they probably just put her name into Google and a bunch of Becky's came out.
That's cool.
So that's the check it out on the Open Source Hardware Summit page.
Okay.
And then other news in the open source hardware. SparkFun. Nathan, the CEO.
That's right.
Went to DC. And we linked to it on our site of the PDF of his testimony about intellectual property.
Yes.
And talking about open source hardware.
That's right.
Patent reform. And so I would like to
totally cool.
Say thank you to SparkFun because all of us as companies have all tried everything we can. You got a chance to talk to the president and you said patent reform.
Please.
Nate from SparkFun went to DC. Patent reform.
Yeah.
All sorts of things for intellectual property to get reform for people like us who want to do innovation. We think open source hardware.
We want to design hardware, and the thing is that especially for a small company, and small, that by the way does not mean a lot of people think a small company is like 2 or 3 people. A small company, can be up to like 100 people and still not be able to afford for the kind of research required to clear to make sure you're not violating patents.
Yeah.
There's like hundreds of thousands of patents. There's no way to know for sure that you aren't and they're so vaguely written. That's another thing. It's the problem. It's like a method for reproducing and storing data in a database that is then distributed across multiple screens. It's like that could mean anything, and that's what makes it so difficult to know. It's like they're so vague. It's like, does this violate? Does it not? And if you ask the company, they're of course going to tell you, yes, you have to pay me a royalty. They'd say that no matter what, even if it's for a patent on toasting bread. So it's really, really difficult. And when we spoke to a lawyer, actually one of the first open source hardware convention thingies, at iBeam 5 years ago, we said, well, what? And everyone was like really concerned. They're like, we want to do hardware, but we're really worried that this hardware is violating patents, because it's not something that, software patents were coming up, but hardware patents have been around for 200 years. And he said it's a force of nature. There's nothing you can do about it. You're defenseless. And if you get hit with one, you kind of just, if you can afford a lawyer, try. If not, then you might be put out of business. There's nothing you can do.
So what I'm going to try to encourage other leaders of companies, so you're done, you talked to the president, then you talked to DC, other hardware companies, we all have customers. We can have our customers in our community tell our representatives how we feel about this stuff. When you talk to electronic companies, when you're at a maker fair or you're at an event, ask them, hey, can you, when you have a chance, send a letter, do something. I mean, all of the companies now are making millions of dollars. We actually are a big chunk of what many cities have as revenue. Adafruit employs 57 people now. SparkFun's 150. This is a real deal. So I think it's important that we encourage all companies out there. So if you get electronics from other folks, which is fine, also encourage them to help keep innovation going, because a giant patent troll could wipe out any of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? Somebody could say, hey, the Arduino bootloader violates my patent, and every one of you guys is got to pay up. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't think it's likely, but something like that could happen.
Yeah, it could happen. We're working on a patent. It's not, maybe it won't even come out, or maybe it will, but when we get it, we're going to do a patent commons thing, so we can help build a wall of patents for everyone who wants to participate with open source. So maybe at least we have some ammo if we need it. So that's our goal, is to work with other people who want to open up a patent, but it's only for other people who want to open up a patent. Kind of neat. Yeah. Bunny has been
Bunny
working on
says.
that. Okay. Paying some bills. Rings, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store.
Circular and not.
Yeah. Okay. I have to speed up here. Lady Ada, we got some new things in the Adafruit learning system. All right. There's a
lot of updated tutorials. A lot of tutorials we've been moved over.
Ready?
Yeah.
Set. Go.
This is a new tutorial by Bill Earl on memories of an Arduino, which sounds like a very sad memoir about the Vietnam War, but it's not. It's actually a tutorial about the different kinds of memory in an Arduino or any microcontroller, such as RAM, flash, and EEPROM, and then how to check how much you're using, how to minimize usage, because a lot of these microcontrollers, even like the big chunky microcontrollers, have like a whopping 4 to 8 kilobytes of RAM. So, learning how to save RAM by flashifying your strings, or storing data tables in flash memory, or using EEPROM for certain storage is a good thing to do. So check out this tutorial. It's a common request.
Next up.
We've moved the Menta tutorial over. Menta tutorial. The Menta is an awesome little Arduino compatible kit that fits into a tin. It's designed to be in a mint tin. It's got a lot of prototyping area. You can stack shields on it. It's lovely. Check it out.
Yep.
Tutorial for 16 by 24 LED matrix. These are kind of cool little LED matrices. They're pretty much ready to go. You just plug them in and run our code. So it's a really fun way to add some 16 by 4 pixelation.
Next up.
Proto Screw Shield. This is a modification of the Wing Shield by Screw Shield Industries. This is a prototype plus terminal block shield, and we just moved the tutorial over to learn. Next up, our VFD display. Not a lot of people get these. They're all expensive, but I really like them, so I'm still carrying them. They're these beautiful graphic VFD displays. They're super beautiful, and they have a very unique look. And they use a lot of power, but they're very easy to use. It uses SPI, which is really nice. So check it out.
Okay.
A very popular micro SD breakout board tutorial, which is also just about basically how to interface SD cards and micro SD cards with an Arduino or similar. Also moved over to Learn.
Okay.
We're wrapping up all the tutorials. And then this is a new tutorial for a product that's been out for a bit. This is our VS1053 codec, which does MP3, OGG, WAV, MIDI, AAC. It does a whole bunch of stuff. It even has like a little synthesizer inside of it. And we have a really great breakout that has 5-volt compliance, and it's got a micro SD card, a slot, and It's got all these pins labeled, and it's really useful, and it fits in a breadboard. It's got mounting holes. Anyways, it's been great. It's a little complicated, so we had to write a really good tutorial for how to use it, especially since there's so much stuff going on. There's GPIOs, and there's MIDI.
Okay, home stretch.
Finally, okay,
No,
we also
there's still a lot more.
There's like 6 more, huh?
Yeah.
We also have a new tutorial by Simon Monk using the BB GPIO library. This is how to connect a push button, just a simple tactile switch, to a BeagleBone Black and read data through Python using the GPIO library that we wrote here for the BeagleBone Black. This is simple, but a lot of projects need push buttons, so here you go.
Okay. I can do this one. This is the tutorial that's posted for the piano glove. It's the glove that uses a Flora color sensor and it plays colors. Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, 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 by Colin.
Yes,
Very
Colin
cool.
did a lovely job with this.
Yep.
And he uses actually the VS1053 codec shown
does.
earlier as a synthesizer, because it has a built-in synthesizer that you can control with MIDI.
Okay, and then last up.
Last up, it's a little write-up about the BeagleBone Black device tree. So it's starting in 3.8 version Linux kernel, Linus, actually I think we covered this last week. Linus Torvalds said that he didn't want to have specialized management for all the different kind of devices that ARM processors handle. And so he said, well, we're going to use a generic overlay system to handle pin muxing. So you have to kind of do this weird compilation thing, and then it's kind of confusing. But you have to. There's a special little scripting language to define which pins are connected to what device, and then if the device is built into the kernel, it'll automatically do the connection and what's it called, like device creation in the device folder. So it's a little bit complicated, but we looked at a couple little tutorials and wrote them up, and Justin did a really good job with this write-up. He's been working on the VBIO library, so that's why he delved into this at my request.
Okay.
That's what's new and learn.
Okay. Time Travel Tuesday, going to go over these very quickly. Every few Tuesdays we have a look back in the world of science, engineering, making, you name it, we look back. Those who do not know their past are doomed in the future.
I think this condemned to repeat. No?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Those do not know quotes that well stumble.
I doomed to repeat. Okay.
Next up, this is what it is. So 1923, happy 90th birthday, Stephanie Kwolek, inventor of Kevlar, turns 90.
That's cool.
Yep. She made Kevlar. Initially wanted to do lab research to save it for medical school, worked at DuPont, made Kevlar. Happy birthday, 90th. Next up, this one always gets people. 1889, this is Vladimir Zawarkin, the father of television, born 124 years ago, Tuesday of this week. In Russia, helped to work out a very early version of the television with Boris Rosling. In St. Petersburg, that used a cathode ray tube.
There's plenty of disagreement about that, but we won't go into that. Instead, we're going to go into the next
And then 1790, the first U.S. patent was granted July 31st, 1790 to Samuel Hopkins of Pittsburgh, Vermont, for an improvement in making potash and pearl ash with a new apparatus and process. Because this is predated the patent office, it's signed and said, personally, by George Washington.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, nice signature. Look at that nice script.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have
They didn't have Comic Sans
emoji or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right. So here we are, Wearable Wednesday. Every Wednesday we have wearable electronics. And big news, gigantic news.
There's an announcement?
There's a big announcement.
Yeah.
Starting this Wednesday coming up.
Yeah. What?
A wearable electronic show
Yeah.
with Becky Stern.
Does Becky Stern know about this?
Yes, she does.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're doing a live show. It's going to be half an hour. It'll be at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And it's going to be all about electronics, wearables, stuff that people want to build, craft, make, intersection of all the stuff that you see at Adafruit, all the things that you see out in the world of fashion, all sorts of cool stuff.
Who's it starring?
Becky Stern. It's wearable electronics with Becky Stern. In fact, we have a
Okay.
little graphic.
So there's no confusion. I like this graphic because
Yeah.
it's got the heart, the stitching.
Yeah, that's
the
from Bruce,
little-
our designer.
That's a lovely logo.
So there'll be things. Here's a little preview. Here's one of the slides from the show. Like we'll have Q&A just like we do with Adafruit. But the difference is the show is going to be on YouTube Live, and the questions you can ask in Google+. There's a post about it on our blog right now, and you'll see a lot of promotions about this. Just like Ask an Engineer, we're going to keep adding to the show. We're going to keep doing stuff. Ask an Engineer is approaching 4 years
Yeah.
very soon.
Went to college and graduated.
Yeah. So the show will start this Wednesday. It's going to be during the middle of the day. It's YouTube Live, so it's recorded and it publishes on its own. And if you happen to be at work, you can tune in. There is no other live electronics show besides Ask an Engineer on a weekly basis, and there's going to be no other live besides Wearable Electronics.
We need like 2 more shows, and we can have like the Adafruit channel.
Yeah. Shh. Working on it. Okay. Next up, cool project. This was from Sally. She sent this in. 59 Flora pixels. Check this out. Look at this. So this is a Galaxy coat, I believe, and it's just all of our pixels with Flora on a coat. Cool. It's very cool. So you can
it's
see
a lot of pixels.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And it glows. Look how beautiful that is. Next up, a couple quick things. We had the Element 14 Get Closer Wearables Challenge. Hundreds of entries. Some of them are being selected, and now they're on the site. People are coming up with really cool projects. Check it out on the site. They did some neat stuff.
Yeah, diagrams.
All sorts of diagrams and things like that.
That's cool for hand drawn. That's really nice.
Yeah. Next. So we got this NeverWet stuff, and so it kind of will coat things to make it water repellent, hydrophobic, and so we got the stuff. We coated some electronics, and then I got sprayed with hose.
You got the hose.
I got the hose.
You got the hose.
So here's a video on Phil, and this is Adafruit. It works.
We recently tried out Rust-Oleum's NeverWet, a new hydrophobic coating for all kinds of surfaces. You may have even seen the videos of water beating up on concrete or of chocolate syrup gliding off of a white t-shirt. It's not recommended for electronics, so don't try this at home. First, we plugged in any cables, then sprayed these circuits with a few layers each of the base and top coats. We took safety precautions both when applying this stuff and when powering our gadgets, but we still need to say, do not try this at home. So, will it work? There's only one way to find out.
It places the pixels in the bucket, or else it gets the hose again.
Many of you asked if our city bike helmet is waterproof, and indeed the strip up here is in a waterproof casing, but the circuit was, until now, unprotected. We had a lot of fun playing with this stuff, but it's not a fix-all for waterproofing your gadgets. The drawbacks? NeverWet degrades in the sun, and once dried, it has this white, chalky film that can come off on your hands.
All right, if you have wearable electronics that you want to cover in this stuff and then get yourself sprayed, gotta do it and post it in the YouTube channel.
So if you want to use NeverWet, make sure to test it on your application first and follow all of the manufacturer's instructions.
Bye. All right. Yeah, so this is the first time this is on video.
And that was not you. That was you. That was not a stunt double.
No, I get hosed down on a daily basis here at Adafruit.
But this time we have to film it.
This time we just turned the camera on. Yeah. Sometimes they get out of control. Okay, next up, 3D Thursday. There's only really one big, giant piece of news from the world of 3D printing.
Yeah.
So check this out. The UPS store is now going to have 3D printers accessible to startups and small business owners.
That's cool.
So they're doing this in San Diego and a few other places. Let me give you a little bit of the press release here.
Okay.
So the UPS store announced today in the first nationwide retailer to test 3D printer services in store. Select UPS locations will be offering the services to startup, small business, and retail customers beginning in San Diego area, with locations in additional cities across the U.S. in the near future. So they're going to be using the Stratasys UPrint SE printer.
Yeah, well, it's an industrial, style printer.
So that's a big deal. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. So a UPS store coming soon. probably in your local area, you'll be able to go.
Yeah, you thought it was maybe going to be libraries, and some libraries are doing this, but it's also, UPS. It makes sense. It's like, get photocopies.
Yeah. So it's funny. There's
business cards, printing services, and 3D printing services.
Before Kinko's was purchased by FedEx, I think on Make I had written an article about how Kinko's should be a 3D printing service bureau. It was close, but it's a little off.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is when you won the Entrepreneur of the Year award when we went to Texas in
Dallas. January.
It was in January of this year. I was sitting at the table with the people who run the UPS store. They were a sponsor of the Entrepreneur Award, and they were asking about the UPS store. And I said, one of the things that is probably coming up, one of your competitors are going to do it, or you're probably already working on it, is a 3D service bureau where you would just kind of print to your local UPS store and you'd pick it up later. There might be people there that can help and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we can't talk about it." So that's what I stopped talking about because I knew that there was a good chance.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that was, and
I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, and I said, it's probably going to be either 3D Systems or like Stratasys, because those are the only ones that you can really have in that type of like production environment.
Yeah, and it has to be, the people who are running it are not necessarily, they're not going to be engineers. So it has to be something that you can drop into a UPS store that's just,
Unrelated note, there was a Walmart went out of business somewhere and they turned it into the largest library.
That's cool.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
And then all of the Sears that have gone out of business, Sears is turning them into data centers and then like renting them out. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of weird world we're living in where like Walmarts are going out of business and laser printers and
there was in Boston. There's a Sears tower in Boston that was really beautiful, and it was. I remember going to it when I was a kid. And then when they went out of business and they moved, there's another Sears elsewhere, but the really nice building was abandoned.
Okay. Next up, Pi Day Friday. Every Friday we have a million posts about Raspberry Pi stuff. So here's the big news in the Pi world. The Pi folks released all the documentation on the Pi camera. So it's a big PDF. It has all the things about the Pi camera. Go check it out. Another thing, if after the show, or you can open up a tab right now, go to the Make site. They have this really cool burglar alarm that for kids made with a Raspberry Pi and a bunch of Adafruit stuff. And it alerts, it tweets, it does everything, and you program it, and the kids that are in it, they did such a good job with it. The dad and his kids, they did this cool, like, here's how it works.
Oh,
and
wow, there's like, yes, no.
Here's this Python script, and this is what it does, and like, very, very cool stuff. So, super cool project, check it out. That is Pi Day for the week. Okay, before we get going on to new products, Lady Ada, this is the code RINGS, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store.
Ringular and non.
Okay. So you know what time it is.
Play the song.
It's new products time.
Play it.
Here's new products.
Yes.
Okay. Let's dive right in.
I have this lamp on.
Okay, first new product.
Yeah, what's up first?
This is the charger.
This is a cranky charger. Actually, this is a good one to show.
Don't do anything yet.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm just showing photos right now.
Okay.
So this is a pocket socket, and this is the best one. We've tested a lot of these, and this is a hand crank charger, and it works, and it works really well. And there's a lot out there. I have a box of them that just don't work very well. So this is the one we got. We did a lot of testing. We have a bunch of gadgets, and I'll go over here right now, and I'll test it. So maybe you can explain briefly, Lady Ada, how this works.
We have to actually do a teardown on this, and we will.
Yeah.
But for now, basically inside is a motor. It's an electric motor, and it's geared. And what it does is, I believe there's no battery inside, but there is probably a lot of like a large capacitor and filtering to make it a little smoother than normal. And then what you want to do is turn it at 2 hertz. So 1 Mississippi.
Yeah. Well, now it just turned on my phone because you're setting it to charge. See how it's charging?
And it gets tougher.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is go to the overhead.
Okay.
Yeah, and
all right, you put that there, and I'm going to.
Okay, I was going to do the cranking, but that's cool.
I want to work it out.
All right.
I'm not afraid. So yeah. So this little handle comes out and it spins. And this makes it's easy, and then as it turns on, actually gets a little tougher because there's resistance. So I'm gonna have to do.
Okay, it's only at 68%, Lady Ada. You have to keep charging.
I don't think I'm going to be able to. I have to
Here, why
do
don't
the
you?
show.
Why don't
But I
you-
do want to show something else. Actually, I want. How about you crank it, and I'm going to probe this with the multimeter.
Okay.
Do you want to do that? Do you want to get over here and then we'll
Yeah,
do
sure.
that? Because I want to something I had a question about. I think it has DC output, which actually would make sense. So here's my. 1 second. This is my multimeter.
Okay, so you want me to crank this?
Wait, multimeter. Okay. Yeah, so I've got my multimeter, and I'm going to stick it in here.
People try this at home.
Probably not.
All right.
So then I want to see.
Maybe I'll get in the other part of the.
This is tough.
Okay.
Yeah, this is tough.
All right,
It's
so
short.
we'll just have to hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
now you want me to start cranking?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The only thing though is here. Watch out.
Yeah.
And hold it like this.
Okay.
Okay. Now you get the multimeter.
Okay, I got the multimeter. Yeah. 120 volts.
Okay.
Okay.
That was
So
hard to
it's
do.
117, but it's actually what's interesting, and I have to, because I was looking at the documentation, and again, I want to open this up to see exactly how it works. But it is a somewhat regulated output, so there's probably some like regulator that keeps it from going above 120 volts, and it's 120 volts DC, not AC. But almost anything that doesn't use a transformer, and there's very few power supplies these days that use actual transformer inputs. Usually they are rectified switching power supplies, so it should work fine for pretty much everything, but like old plug-in, like really heavy power adapters, because those actually require AC input.
Okay.
But it's actually a really good quality. It's really rugged. It does make you a little tired.
Made in
but
the USA.
It's made in the USA, and did you say it was like a Kickstarter or something, or was it Indiegogo? No. Okay.
No, this is one. So I've seen a lot of these, and I have, like I said, a box of them. None of them are that good, and this one is the best one.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. This one's like usable, well made, and
Yeah, we'll take it
pretty easy to
apart
grip.
and we'll do
I wanna
this
see,
here.
yeah, and it has a basic. What's
Yeah.
interesting is it has a basic 2-prong output. There's another version that they're coming out with that's 5-volt output with USB.
That's
So
cool.
that'll be a little bit easier because it's like you don't have to generate 120 volts. You'll have to generate 5 volts. So it's even higher current, but it might not have to be geared as much
Yeah.
or something more efficient. So.
Screws instead of glue. You know,
Yeah,
like these are
you
nice
can
things.
take this apart. So
And we're expecting maybe someone to take it apart and maybe attach it to a bike or something like that.
yeah, and you can reuse the internals for something else possibly. But yeah, again,
Yeah.
they're also making a version that's like bike cranked. Anyway, so it's a cool. We wanted to have something that was a crank generator. We have a box of crank generators that like either
Yeah.
kind of sucked or were just way too expensive. And this one actually is this nice, usable, not too heavy, not too difficult to use, not too expensive, not too crummy.
Crank chargers are in the same category in my brain as solar chargers for gadgets. Like all of them don't work except for like one, and like
Yeah.
and like
You actually do have to pay a little bit more for the
Yeah.
quality.
Okay.
That's true.
Next up, Blinky. Look at this. This
Yeah.
is a familiar product, but it's also new.
Yeah, this is the black flex strip color of the LED strip we've been carrying as the NeoPixel. We've had it in white, and it's been great. And this is identical, except that the strip is black. That might be useful for certain costuming or attaching to something that is already painted black. And so this will, the LEDs are still going to have these like white squares, but overall, it might be easier to hide or be less visible. I thought we'd carry both.
We're gonna try to get everything in Adafruit black. It's a very
Is it Adafruit black?
It's a very special black, and
Yeah,
so we
I'll show
we
you.
have to make sure that it's the right tone.
Yeah,
Right color.
this is exactly the right 000 hex. So yeah, this is just black strip. This is outside of the waterproof casing, which you can do, and it works great. So this is the 30 LEDs per meter, and then we also have some that's twice as dense, 60 LEDs per meter.
Yeah.
And you do need one microcontroller, just like all the other NeoPixels that we have. So check out our library. Works
Okay.
great. This actually is using the new WS2812B, the new chip, which actually has reverse polarity protection built in. So it's also, what I like about these strips is they're also less likely to get damaged.
Okay.
Less fragile chance.
Yeah. Next up, the star of the show.
The ring of the show.
Yeah. It's a Stargate.
That's a gigantic quarter.
Yeah. It's the LED rings. Look at these
Yeah.
beautiful photos. Now I just want to put
Show
this
these
photo.
photos.
Just want to put this photo up on screen. Look at this.
That's a nice
John
photo.
took this photo.
It's beautiful.
That's a great photo.
That almost even shows you how bright it is. It's
Yeah.
quite bright.
Here it is.
It's a ring. So this is 16 equidistantly spaced LEDs on a PCB, and you can show it on the overhead. So we put 16 in a row, and they're equally spaced. And 16, we thought was a good number. Somebody mentioned it would be cool to have 12 for a watch. This unfortunately is 16. Maybe we'll make a version with 12 at some point. It's got these 16 LEDs. It's a nice round ring. It's 1.75 inches in diameter, which turns out to be pretty much exactly the right size for shoving them into standard goggles. Like goggles seem to be about 1.75 millimeter, 1.75 inches in diameter. So you can make LED goggles with these, which is kind of what we want to do. It's just a ring. It's hollow. There's some pins you can see on the bigger photos. There's some capacitors. You can chain these together, which is kind of neat. Each ring takes about 5 volts, like 4 to 7 seems to be okay, according to the data sheet. And let me show it lit up. You can use kind of a standard Arduino type thing.
Also, someone wanted to see how big it is next to the Flora.
Oh, it's about the same size. The Flora, I think, is 1.75 inches too, so it's the same outer diameter as a Flora. So you could shove it on top of a Flora. So yeah, these are 2 rings. Wait, hold on, 2 rings. So yeah, they're super bright, full color, all of them, and yeah, you only need one LED, one pin to control them. So we thought this would be neat, great for like all sorts of decorative stuff, and hopefully 1.75 inch outer diameter is a good size that would be useful for most projects. So looking forward to seeing like costumes, LED goggles, earrings, necklaces, whatever, using these as sort of pendants.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I like this product.
Why do you like this product?
I'll tell you why I like this product so much. And I was talking to John Janier about this, and you and I talked about this.
See if I can chain this
So
up.
it's a beautiful product. It doesn't have any use, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It's not a functional product like a temperature sensor or like something that we stock that has a utility. This has something. This has a bigger, more grand purpose. I think it emits ideas. Because every time we've shown this to someone here at Adafruit, they said, "Oh, I know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to like make a lamp, and I'm going to put these down like an acrylic tube, and I'm going to light it up." Or
Well, that's intense. That's good of you.
yeah, it's one of the few products recently that it emits photons, of course.
Yes.
But it also emits your imagination. It emits things that make you want to design something and make something.
Yeah.
And that's such a hard product to come up with. Like we didn't really set out to say what can we make that makes.
I just wanted LED goggles. This is that, so I really wanted LED goggles for like 10 years, and I really wanted them to be controllable. And this is like the first time that I'm like, LED goggles.
And what's interesting in the chat right now, everybody's coming up with ideas. Oh, get 4 of them for Audi drivers. Pink, 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 pink. No, Olympic rings. Pink, pink,
Yeah, I
pink,
can
pink.
do Olympic rings.
Everybody comes up with ideas. There's something about this. This product's gonna go in a direction.
Do you want me to make other size rings too? Maybe make one twice as big and
No, everybody in the
smaller?
chat can mention it.
The
Like,
only thing that's sad about ring, it's with squares and lines. The thing is, because we have this stick that's 8 pixels, and we have the 8x8 square that's coming out soon. You can tile those. This is just like it's
Did you
kind
show
of
the PCB thing? The PCB?
Oh yeah, I was going to do that next. So this is the this is the circuit board as it comes to us. So it's the thing that's a little
Baby
sad.
Stargates.
It's a little sad is because there's all this PCB material that's cut away. So the PCBs are actually kind of expensive, even though they're not. The surface area is small, but because you can't use the center, and they're it's cut away because it has to be tiled a certain
Maybe
way.
we'll figure out something to put in the center one day.
Well, it has to be pick and place at the same time. Maybe something that you could cut out and you could reuse.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll figure something out.
All right.
So these are this is the
And then one
This is
last thing. This
pick
is
and
the
place
video that you guys saw.
this is Phil B's video. So he's testing it with a trinket, which is something we're probably going to do a tutorial on, and we'll have the trinket out shortly. PCBs are on the way.
Okay. And that was new products. All right, right along. Let's do a it's not out yet. Don't ask. We're running a little late tonight.
I know.
So, but we're gonna do it.
Okay.
So this is a big deal.
Is it?
This is a big deal.
Okay.
So I'll go to the overhead, and
Let me put my stuff away.
we'll show this live.
Live.
Yeah.
We are live.
This is a live project right now, and I'm going to go to the overhead. And this is the chat room.
Let me turn this off. There you go.
This is the chat room, and this is a Retina display.
Yeah, so this is a 2000 by 1500 pixel Retina display that is also used as an iPad 3 screen. This is what is used in the iPad 3. And we saw this project on Hacky Day where this guy basically figured out that the display, the plug for these displays is actually DisplayPort.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of interesting because I've been doing a lot of stuff with like HDMI and TTL and LVDS, and there's all these different ways to control a screen. Small screens use SPI or DSI, and then it goes up to maybe using.
Yeah, maybe you can.
You want to zoom in?
Well, let's. Maybe you can hand me the screen.
Okay, be careful.
Yeah.
It won't go very far because of this power cable.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah, let's go back to the overhead.
Sorry.
So
yeah.
I wanted you to.
It's connected to my power supply.
Yeah. Can you show the little circuit board you designed?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is where the magic happens. This is what
I'll use this
Lady
special
Ada designed,
thing.
and this is the adapter.
Yeah, so this cable is actually DisplayPort. It's not LVDS, and it's not anything weird and custom. It's actually DisplayPort, and it's just a very thin sort of FPC type connector. And then you can actually connect it direct to a DisplayPort, this is a sort of standard metal DisplayPort connector that you can cable to a MacBook over there, or any other DisplayPort device. And then you have to give it about 20 volts for the backlight, because the backlight is like half an amp at 12 volts, kind of crazy. And then you also have to give it 3.3 volts for the logic, which is also about half an amp at 3 volts. So it actually uses quite a bit of power. This is the first prototype that K-Town designed.
Yeah.
And K-Town's on vacation, but K-Town did awesome. He did a perfect job. We plugged it in.
Slide it back over for this so you can see the screen.
And it just worked.
Yeah, and so I'm using this as a second monitor for my Mac.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So this is the DisplayPort cable. This is a little breakout. This is a little LED. I got some power supply cables because I didn't know what voltage I needed or how much current. So I was just like, well, I'll just break it out. This is the connector to the iPad 3 screen. You can see the back here.
Yeah.
And then this is the screen, and I'll zoom out so you can sort of see the whole
so we're going to have the adapters and the screens available soon at Adafruit.
Yeah.
So this is world premiere.
So it's kind of cool because it's actually there's black bars because you're mirroring your display, but when you don't mirror it, it's like a full.
Yeah.
Is it 2,500 or 25 or something? 2,000 pixels by 1,500 pixels, and it's full IPS, so you can see it from like 89 degrees, which is pretty amazing. Incredible that you can see it from such an angle.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm still not used to that.
It's
I'm like,
gorgeous.
that's weird.
I don't know how it's coming across on video really, but it looks gorgeous. It's perfect. I want to use that as my actual screen.
Yeah, we can zoom into the text.
Yeah. Looks like people are asking questions, and it's not out
How
yet.
thin is that display? It's thin. I'll show that.
Don't answer. You can't answer.
Oh, it's thin. It's thin.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
fine.
All right.
But yeah, you can't
so
answer.
That was it. All right, we're going to do a speed round of questions, Lady Ada.
Okay.
We're going to do engineering questions. I'm going to shout them out as fast as we can.
Yeah, we have 4 minutes.
Yeah, running a little late. Okay. Well, it's not out yet, so you can't.
Yeah, you can't ask questions about the display.
Yeah, so ask other questions that have nothing to do with this. Okay, here it is.
Display questions.
I'm trying to transmit audio with Bluetooth to a microphone and receive audio to output to the speakers. Any tips on what hardware in the store I could use for Bluetooth?
We do not have an audio Bluetooth solution at this time, unfortunately.
But yeah, working on it.
We're working on
Okay, except are there any ICs that generate hardware-based random numbers based on something? Like breakdown noise from reverse?
There's probably some device out there, some specialized device that will generate random numbers for you, like a random number generator. But until then, you can use, like a reverse breakdown zener to amplify it, which only uses like an op amp.
Someone wanted to see my screen. You did. That's what it.
That was the screen.
That was the screen. Yeah.
You saw that.
That's the screen.
Screen.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know Tyler Durden? Yeah. A little bit.
That's not an engineering question.
Active noise canceling headphones with a microcontroller or a single board controller impossible. How would you go about it?
You can make basic noise canceling headphones using either analog or something with a DSP, but you kind of do need a DSP.
Okay. Oh, someone wants to know how to. What was the link to the kit business article? How to run a kit
You
company.
just Google 17 steps to running your own successful kit company.
Oh, thank you to just post it in there. Okay, next up.
17 is the magic number.
What data may be possible to collect from wiring from an analog antenna to an analog input of an Arduino, and what would be a quick example of a type of code look like, and where to look for that type of code?
You can't really do any RF stuff with the analog input on a microcontroller. You'll need an RF interface IC. So grab one that does the interfacing for you.
This FTDI cable, can that be used with the BeagleBone Black?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has an FTDI. The pinout should be just directly compatible.
Okay. Any chance of an open source radio receiver being put out in kit form? We're not working on that right now.
We're not, but there's like the Hack RF, which is, I believe, an open source SDR tool that's being talked about at DEF CON right now.
All right, next up. Do you travel to Mini Maker Faire, Cincinnati Maker Faire in October 19, 2013? No, we will.
Nope. We will not be attending any Mini Maker Fairs.
Yeah. Next up.
There's a lot. But you don't have to be there. I'm here right now, and also there's other stuff to see at Mini Maker Fairs.
Next up.
You want to see me there.
Let's see. Can the VS1053 breakout record wave, not OGG, to STQ?
It can record wave, but an Arduino is not fast enough to handle it. So I would record OGG because it can play OGG. So that's probably the code that we have is for OGG only.
Yeah.
It could do wave, but we didn't try it, and I think it would take too much data too fast for the same quality.
Okay, next up. When connecting thermocouples to the Max 31855 breakout, what can I do to get the most accurate data?
Calibrate your thermocouple.
All right, and then I have a new Dell computer at work that has a DisplayPort and DVI adapter. Is there the standard able to convert, or just a Dell thing?
I have no idea what you're asking. You might want to talk to Dell customer support. They could probably help you out with your Dell laptop question.
Okay.
Okay, we should send it in.
Yeah, it's time to do the trivia question.
Yeah, do trivia question.
Yeah. All right, trivia question. Lady Ada, what are the rules?
If you've won a fabulous prize, you cannot enter again. Only one winner per lifetime. So if you know the answer, just go make a sandwich, sit in your hands, or think of something to do with some LED rings. First person to answer correctly with spelling wins the prize. The prize is a NeoPixel ring.
NeoPixel ring. All right, here it is. First person I see to type this correctly in the chat wins. This person was born on August 3rd, 1851. Irish physicist whose suggestion of a way to produce waves helped to lay the foundation for wireless telegraphy. Also, first developed the theory independently discovered by Hendrik Lorentz, that a material object going through an electromagnetic field would exhibit a contraction of its length in the direction of motion.
What?
Yep. Who is this?
I think you should repeat yourself.
A
'cause that was really
physicist, an Irish physicist,
long. Yeah.
whose suggestion of a way to produce waves helped lay the foundation for wireless telegraphy. Who is it? Born August 8th, 1851.
August 8th.
Sorry, August 3rd,
August 3rd,
1851.
1851. Okay.
Irish
I don't
physicist? Yep.
This is getting kind of vague.
Yeah, well, this is a science. I'm trying to do the scientist ones when there's birthdays.
Okay.
Not Snowden, not aliens, not Marconi. Other hints. There was a... Oh, here it is. George Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Also,
That's a good Irish name.
yep, this is now known as a Lorentz-Fitzgerald contraction, which Albert Einstein used in his own special theory of relativity. It is also the first to propose a structure of comets as the head made of large stones, but make a tail of much smaller stones, less than 1 centimeter in diameter, that the pressure of light radiation from the sun could deflect them. Fitzgerald also studied electrolysis as well as electromagnetic radiation.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, so
Fitzgerald.
extra Titanic
You get
email support at Adafruit.com. You get an LED ring.
LED rings.
So we're gonna be wrapping up the show. Don't forget the code is rings. It's on for another hour.
10% off rings, NeoPixels, and other items
Yep.
in stock
Yep.
in the store.
Quick photo of a cat. Here's MOSFET. Last week we showed a video of him yelling at a bird. So this week's his picture of a cat. Thank you, everyone on the show and tell. Scott, Aaron, Kevin, Joel, Mike, Lance, Phoebe, all the people in the Adafruit community, viewers, all these little Stargates.
You can't see me.
We'll be back
hidden.
next week. Don't forget, this Wednesday, 2 p.m., and also it'll be on YouTube, recorded, is the first episode of Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
With Becky Stern. Starring Becky Stern.
Tune in. I'll be off to the side. I'll be running.
And
I'll be doing my
you're
thing
doing
over
camera
here.
control.
I'll be doing my thing over here.
Okay.
And
I'll watch it. I'll watch it live.
yeah, you'll watch it live, and you'll actually see a little bit of what's going on in the background of the Adafruit factory.
Yeah. What time is it?
2 p.m.
Oh wow, that's like after lunch.
It's actually going to be right here. So
It's going to be a little busy.
yeah, we're going to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Daytime TV.
Here is your moment of Zener.